the show exclusively known as the voice of the Arizona Cardinals fan club, the Bird Gang.
Fitzgerald inside the 30, the 20, it's over. It's insane.
Now with your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E.
Bird Gang on 3, 1, 2, 3, Bird Gang.
Welcome back into the Casual House. All of you sports fans out there, Bird Gang, Suns Nation, D-Backs Nation, Coyote, sorry, but you too. This is the Kazual Sportz Show. I'm your host, Earl Burnett, a.k.a. Casual E. We're going to do it another night for you. Try to give you our perspective of what's going on in the world of Arizona sports. You want to be a part of this show, go ahead and hit us up on our 4 major outlets. Right now, we're on Facebook Live, as we do every night. I got a YouTube page, Twitter, and Instagram. Go ahead and also download our mobile apps at the website at www.ksrnaz.com. And if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe to the website as well, where you can get the articles and all the information, what's going on the network, right to your email. So it's a Wednesday night, the hump day it is, and I'm going to bring my co-host in because he's not a guest tonight. He's co-hosting with me tonight, my man, the one and only Javon, multiple jobs, Adams.
Sometimes the conversations off mic are better than the ones on
there
mic.
There you go.
So that's good. San Jose State representing.
Okay.
San Jose State. That's what's up.
How's your boy doing down there at college?
The way that it goes these days is always you have to be flexible. So we were supposed to be flying out to Norfolk State, and I'll say this because my wife might be listening because I shared it because that's what we're supposed to do to support our folks, right?
Exactly.
That's what we're supposed to do. Man, there's some out in Norfolk State. So anyway, the point is, it got postponed.
Be careful.
We're supposed to all be flying out.
Yeah.
Me, my lovely wife.
Yeah. Okay. You better be careful.
and our oldest son, and then our youngest son as well. We were supposed to be flying out this weekend to move him in.
Okay.
But that's been pushed back a little bit for like 2 weeks because they're trying to get this money as much as they can, but they sometimes, they try to push it back. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, everything's good, man. Just
So how are they doing down there for the quarantine? I mean, for the pandemic. I mean, how are they prepared for it? I mean, for the students down there, are they mask required, or what are they doing for the professors to protect them? I mean, how are they?
That is the funny thing is, so if he wasn't, let's say if he was going to the university for general studies, which I would have him going locally, but if it was general studies, I would say, nah, son, you need to not do that. Okay. But he's going because he wants to be a nurse like his mom. Okay. So we need to make sure that he's on that he's progressing to the point where he can take the necessary tests at the end of this year, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of his classes will be mostly online and then not as much in person.
Okay.
So a smart person like yourself, Earl, will say, well, why the hell do y'all need to go to Norfolk to do that? I know. So yeah. So we'll figure it out. We'll see how that goes because I think it was the second week of the second weekend of September is when we're supposed to be flying out. Yeah, man. So we'll be flying out, and so we'll see how that goes. But who knows in between now and then how they might have a pivot when it comes to the strategy. But we'll see.
Do they have sports at that school? Right?
They do. Dog. Offline conversation.
Oh, okay.
So I went to homecoming. And so that's classic HBCU, historically black college or university, where you have a lot of those where the band is really the show. And I had never seen that before. So when I went out to visit my son for his birthday is November 1st. So thankfully I was able to go out and visit him. And yeah, it was all that and more. They played Morgan State, and Morgan State's band was fire. And so his college's, his university's band was fire and all that stuff. It was great. It was a wonderful experience. But so we'll see, because I believe that they suspended or they postponed their college season. So we'll see how that goes, because when it comes to HBCUs, that's where it really comes down to is the band. What's the band doing at halftime?
Okay, that's where I was going. Is the sports being canceled, all these other conferences and stuff is getting weird.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But just before I go on any further, I got to let everybody know, of course, that this show is brought to you by the good folks at CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. They are a partner of ours, and their slogan, and a slogan that you're going to hear a lot of, is to change a child's story. And these are advocates in the foster system to get these kids somebody to represent them in the courtrooms and represent them to find them some homes that are more safe, because today's world is just getting crazier and crazier. I mean, sex trafficking is up as high as it's ever been. Homelessness, all these things these children are battling through. We need some volunteers out there to come out there and to be some foster parents. And always got to give a shout out to my man Sean, because he is a foster parent and saved 4 kids' lives, man, in the process. So it can be done.
And it's I don't think that enough can be said about that. And seriously, and this is real, because your heart is so big that you want to be able to change somebody's life, but you don't know what that young child has been through before they reach you.
Correct.
And so what you have to do, and to be able to be diligent, and that's that. I say that to Sean all the time. I mean that's you. I got 2 sons, and that's wild enough. Seriously, but being able to open your heart to be able to bring all those children in, he and his wife are doing God's work.
Absolutely. And I always think to myself too, if he had a bigger house, I mean, his house is big enough.
I know what you're saying. He would have 2 or 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, and the way his heart is, the way they are, I would imagine if they had a freaking warehouse, they're trying to take all these kids.
Sean's trying to. I'm sure Sean's mind is grinding, trying to figure out how can we do more of God's work.
Absolutely.
And that's really commendable.
Yes.
But man, I'd be thinking, guys, so we did your work, right? We did your work, right? We did your work. I'm just saying we did your work, but Sean is saying, no, we did your work, but I know you got more work for us to do. And that
he keeps
people
going
like
too.
that are few and far between. So
he keeps going.
Definitely shout out to people like that for sure.
And
my wife's friend is like that as well.
Right.
One of my wife's best friends. I mean, she had 4.
Man,
4.
Yeah, he has
so,
4
yeah,
too.
most definitely.
So it's like, wow, and 4 different personalities, like you said, that came from different. And it's like, but they found a way, man. I mean, they but it is what it is, and I'm so glad to have him come into my life, man, because he's taught me a wonderful lesson that not to complain about a lot of stuff. We all get to complaining about our lives, and we got it better than anybody, other people may have it. So, I mean, just to show that you can reach out and help somebody else, it's cool.
Yeah, this is true.
To see it with my own eyes is pretty cool. But so props to the McConnell family for sure, and that's what Casa wants to keep him involved and do some things with him, because they wrote a big article on his whole family. It was pretty dope. But let's go ahead and do what we normally do about this time, see what's going on in this world of sports that's out here.
Yes, sir.
What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
In the casual house.
Well, about this time, I normally probably would go down to the scores or what's going on, but I don't have it in front of me. So if you could pull it up, what's going on in these games that are on today. But he has had a lot of injuries, and so they feel like one little thing go wrong. It's like get him out of there, get him out. It's like, come on, it's the playoffs. How do you know you're going to get that game back?
You don't, but I get what you're saying. But see that's the thing about it's what perception becomes reality. If if I've never been injured before, then I get injured, and then so that's one. And then let's say I get a twisted ankle or whatever it is. And now I'm injury prone. So
exactly.
Then you can't shake that. It's tough, especially if you're being pulled out of the game by, let's say, coaches.
Right.
Think of it that way. Because if let's say he's pulled out of the game by coaches, but what if they tried to pull him out and he said nah, then he's then he's cantankerous and he's
Right.
difficult.
Right.
And when I say that, I'm saying that as being African American like we are. What you trying to measure, son? Don't. I'm on a show, so what you trying to measure?
We got some LEDs.
You got some
anyway.
LEDs.
Oh my God!
He needs
When you got teenagers,
he need his stuff,
now
man.
he got LEDs. He's trying to
You
get.
gotta get his fix, man. You better
My
get off the
bad.
LEDs.
That's what it is. That's the J Love life. So that's what's up.
Right. But another thing I looked at from yesterday's games that I wanted to touch on was the fact that, I mean, I guess most Phoenix Suns fans is feeling the same way I'm feeling right now. The freaking Milwaukee Bucks, how they played in that Memphis game.
Don't do it.
Come on, hold on a
do it.
second. How they played in that Memphis game. Okay, we understood. Okay, maybe you were arresting people or whatever, and you came in with a nonchalant attitude. But I just got to thinking, I was like, man, if you take Giannis off that team, they're that bad of a team. And I thought, okay, let's see. We'll see. And maybe they just didn't play because of, they were resting for the playoffs. And then they get out there in game one, and the same stinkers showed up, except Giannis was with them, and Giannis balled out 31 and 17 and 7 assists, and that core around him played the exact same way they played against Memphis.
You know my oldest son. You met my oldest son, who looks a little tiny bit like me, a little bit like me.
Okay.
I hope a little bit better than me because I don't want him to be destined to. I mean, I married up, so that's a good thing. But the point is that he kept saying Middleton, Dad. So it's when you think about the rising tide lifts all boats, and that's one of those sayings where the talent should lift all those who are not as talented. And in this case, I mean, you have a Bledsoe. It's possible that he's not ready for prime time. When it comes to it's one thing. I remember they used to say this. I know I'm switching sports, but they used to say this about Barry Bonds, where he wasn't ready for that, and then he had that wonderful postseason where they almost ended up winning the World Series.
Right.
But the point is that sometimes you just have these players that are built for the regular season.
Right.
And then, but when the stakes are raised, and Ed does a great job of mentioning this on our show, is that sometimes it's, look like Tarzan, play like Jane, meaning that you're just not ready to take it to that next level.
Yep.
And that could be the case. And if that is the case, and I think that they'll win the series, but let's say that they don't. I think that will be the nail in the coffin for Giannis's time in Milwaukee, because it's not saying that you didn't try to do a good job of surrounding me with the necessary talent, but it's saying that the talent you surrounded me with wasn't adequate.
Not sufficient enough.
Sorry, I can't. There's all kinds of different ramifications for that. I can't be around this anymore. But I think that they'll win, though.
I'm glad you said that, because that's where I was going next. And I was texting Mitch on the messenger, and we got to talking about that. I said, you know what? When Sean and I had this show, I had this conversation with him, and he was like, no, Giannis is way too loyal. He's going to stay in Milwaukee. Then I thought, well, LeBron was in that same situation before when he came out. He didn't have the pieces around him, and he left Cleveland the first time. This is that scenario. If this kid he's a free agent next year, unrestricted free agent next year, and if he sees that this was supposed to be our year to go to this championship, because last year we were so close, and this team was supposed to make it there, and then we get blown out. I mean, we get taken out in the first round or second round. I think he might be looking to say bye-bye. And
here's where I'm not. Truth be told, I'm a Lakers fan. I've been a Lakers fan not since Shaq came to the team. I've been a Lakers fan since Norm Nixon. So look up, Google Norm Nixon, folks.
I know who the dude is.
But what I'm saying is this: is that I don't begrudge people from moving on. I've been a manager in organizations, and somebody come to me and say, "Hey, Javon, I have a better opportunity." Hey, you know what, man?
Do your thing.
Look to you. Do your thing.
Exactly.
But I've also seen other managers that say, "Nah, that's BS," and they take umbrage to that. I don't. So the thing that I get at is I hate it when people say, when people act as if those same people that look at opportunities with other organizations, whether whatever it is that they do, whatever
Right.
they, as Ron Wolfley would say, whatever they find their hand to do, they go out and do other things, but they want their athletes to stay dedicated and loyal to them. There is no loyalty.
Right. It's no
My
such
grandfather worked, for a company for 25 years. And on his 25th anniversary, they gave him a fake ass gold watch.
thing.
So
Yeah, there's
all
no
I'm
loyalty
saying
as
is-
long as that green is controlling everything.
exactly. So all I'm saying is that if he happens to leave, it's if you don't feel that your organization did all that they could to surround him with the talented group, then you can be upset. But
Okay.
if you feel that they did all that they could, then you just, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you just don't win.
It is what it is.
I'm-
And that
like my
superstar
Lakers
has
yesterday,
every
but
right.
sometimes you just
Yeah,
don't win.
And the superstar has every right to feel that way because you had your opportunity to get him where he wants to go.
Yeah. So
And-
what right do you have to be
Yeah.
upset because they say
Yeah.
I want to leave? So if you go to your boss and say I want to leave, and he treats you like a beep, really?
Yeah, exactly.
So because I want to leave, I've been here for 10 years and I want to leave now.
Right.
Now all of a sudden I'm persona non grata? Nah.
So it
That's
is what
not
it
how
is.
it goes down. So why would you treat the athlete that you've come to appreciate
Right.
and to root for in a negative way? So I mean that's where I differ when it comes to that. It's because I don't begrudge it. When Kobe wanted to, I know this is a slight aside or slight tangent, but when Kobe wanted to bounce that year, there was that off season where he requested a trade.
Right.
Cool. I mean, if you got to request a trade, Kobe, then that's what you got to do.
Absolutely.
So what? I mean, what does that impact my life in a negative way? So anyway, but Shaq got traded, all that type of stuff. But people, I think, take it too seriously,
Yeah.
and they take it as a personal affront to them. But
Right.
it is what it is.
Well, the second half of that conversation has something to do with the color of this shirt I got on. Because if Giannis is going to be free next year, why not come to the Valley, man? And look at that piece. Look at that. Look at what they did in that bubble. And look at all the hype they're getting and all the recognition and respect they've earned. And look at that organization and the culture change. Monty Williams, the role players, D Book, Ayton, and you got another top 10 pick coming. You can look at that situation and go, that's a pretty damn good situation to go put one more piece to. That would be freaking awesome.
If I came in and I said, yo, Casual E, Earl Burnett, you ain't got to do nothing. I'll take you know what I'm saying? You doing Casual Sports Monday through Friday. I'll do it. You do it Monday and Friday. I'll do it Tuesday through Thursday. I got you, dog. I got you, baby. I got you. And you know what? Matter of fact, on Saturday and Sunday, I'll do 2 shows. I'll do them different. I'll do whatever it takes to do. That's what Giannis is, right?
Yeah.
So the difference is, so when you're talking about that shirt that you were holding up, the Phoenix Suns, is that you got to do with DeAndre Ayton that he's saying, man, I'm just trying to find my way. You're like, nah, find your way to get a more than an average double. I want you to find your way to be like a number 1 pick.
Heck yeah.
That's the difference between finding somebody who is you hold in high regard.
Okay.
The person that I mentioned, previously that says, I'll do whatever it takes. And the person that says, I have all the talent in the world. And you say, yeah, but all you do is 1 show a week. Why don't you do more?
Right.
I'm just so in awe of all these people on the network. I'm just so in awe, which is what DeAndre Ayton does.
Yeah.
So that is it's a tough thing because
But the
Do you
players look at each other. I don't think players look at DeAndre Ayton the way the fans look at him. The players look at him as that's a player in the NBA, and he made it here, and he's got to be respected as a player in the NBA. They don't look at him as a struggling until you got to play with that dude. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
My brother.
Yes.
Until you.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I, we do some things outside of what we do at KSRNAZ.com. Make sure you do everything you need to do to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned a lot of things from Brother Earl, as Smith would say. I've learned a lot of things in terms of how to do different
And vice
things,
versa.
stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if I saw you do certain things and I didn't learn from them, then you would say, "All right, Jay, all right,
This ain't
you
working
cool.
out.
I feel that you willing to come out at 8 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon,
Right.
but you're not willing to, but you're not learning from it, and that's
Right.
what it comes to with DeAndre Ayton. But when it comes to Giannis,
Giannis
he's
is
gonna
hungry.
want to be
He's
paid, and
hungry.
he deserves to be paid.
Look, if he's
In a
available
certain
and he
way.
says he wants out, if I'm the Phoenix Suns, I will get every asset ready. I mean, minus Booker, of course, and Ayton, because those are your core pieces. You have to keep Ayton because that was the number one pick. But
You
everything else outside of that,
1.9. You're gonna keep 1.9.
I guess you're gonna keep 1.9. But
All right,
outside everything after that, I'm putting up like, dude.
All right.
Hey, that first round pick we got, you can throw that in there. Kelly
Yeah.
Oubre, you can throw that in there. Anything you
Right.
want, you can have it if we can get that dude. But
Yeah.
but I mean, it's not likely to happen. But I'm just saying because
No,
Giannis looks
no.
like the type of guy that would be loyal and stay in Milwaukee. But I mean, if he goes
He
out,
will be loyal. He will be loyal,
a-
but it's a matter of people change over time.
Mhm.
You talk to somebody in February, you talk to them again in July, and
Yep.
things have changed in their life.
Circumstances change everything. And
Yeah,
his circumstance
exactly.
right now is that's not the team that's going to do it. I mean, Middleton, I always thought he was overrated. I always thought he was overrated. I did. I was like,
Man.
why? How is he an all-star? And everybody pumping this dude up like he just
Dog,
is
I'm
balling.
gonna tell you like this: when he got the contract extension,
Man.
say, "Hey, we want you to stay." Okay, sign it real quick before they change their mind.
Right.
There's a song that I'm thinking that goes along with that, but it's essentially real quick before you change your mind. I'm going to sign this extension.
Right.
So therefore, I'm set in stone, and so I'm set for life. And I think that's what happens with a lot of teams is because when you have somebody on your team that says that has performed at a certain level, then you project them to continue to improve
Right.
at a certain pace.
Correct.
But I never thought Middleton was that dude.
Never.
I don't think
always
Kuz
thought
was
him as
that dude.
Yeah, role players, dude.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
since you're talking
yeah.
about Lakers, man, that was the third game I got on yesterday
Woo.
that I had to go
Yes,
back
sir.
and watch
Yes, sir.
because
I kicked my wife out of the room.
I don't know.
Messing up with she was jinxing stuff.
Man. You must well listen.
I haven't been this way for about 10 years.
Okay.
Doing that stuff, casual E, where it was, all right, you walked in the room and they missed a shot. You got to walk out. That's what I did last night, and I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I haven't done that in years.
You definitely wasn't on the social media last night because I was clowning like crazy. I was like, Jay, I know you ain't got no fingernails right now.
Why the hell would I let people know how ashamed that I should be? Because I could bring my wife in here now. She walked out of the room so upset and so hurt. I said,
man.
You came in the room. They was winning in the fourth quarter. Now they losing.
Oh,
you
crazy.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I'm so ashamed. I hope she forgives.
But
yeah.
there was a debate about that game last night between Shaq and Barkley that I thought was interesting, and I said, you know what? When I boil it down to both those opinions, I think they both are right. But Shaq's point was AD didn't do enough. But AD dropped 28 and 11. But hold on a second. AD dropped 28 and 11, and Barkley's going, what do you mean he didn't do it? He had 28 points and 11. But Shaq was like, no, I'm saying, look, he had 21 points at halftime.
Thank you.
And he finished with 28. That's not enough. And I thought about it. I said, yeah, he's supposed to be a superstar. And then Barkley's like, no, Shaq. No. It's the people around him that's not helping him to do enough. They're not making shots, and they're not. And then they got on this big old argument about it. But then I thought about it both ways. I said, yeah, it is a little bit of both as far as the role players that are not making shots for them. But if AD is supposed to be big star guy, I got to lean toward what Shaq was saying. Hey, you can't come with 21 in first half and then 7 points in the whole second half.
Yeah. Remember there was a guy that was on. He was on the Kings for a long time, and then he was traded to the Atlanta Hawks. Shareem Abdul-Rahif. I think if you remember that dude.
Oh yeah, right. What's his name?
Rahif. I want to say Rahif. I don't think it was Raheem, but Google it while I'm doing.
No, I know who you're talking about.
rant.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. While you can say that Anthony Davis is one of the top 10, some would say top 5 players in the league, what you'll see, and when he was with the Pelicans, and this is one of the reasons, Suns fans,
Right.
again, shout out to San Jose State University, that I get on Devin Booker, is because if you are that talented, should your team at least, half of the league makes it into the playoffs, right?
Correct.
And Anthony Davis is as talented as he is. I think it was when he's made it to the playoff. He's made it through the first round of the playoffs once. And, fact check me on that. But the thing is, he wilts in the fourth quarter. So it was playoff Rondo.
Yes.
That got him through.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So again, I'm not trying to say that one man should always be the one to rise all tides.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that I don't believe in Anthony Davis to that extent, to where it's all right. So you got 21 points in 2 quarters, or and then you finish with 28. You should demand the ball. I was watching that game, and he was taking 3-pointers.
Three-pointers, yeah. I saw that too.
He was roaming out to the 3-point line into mid-range shots.
Let me ask you this real quick. Have they not adjusted to the way LeBron plays the game yet? Because LeBron is about ready to take it to the next level, the playoff level. That team hasn't followed yet. And it looks like they're kind of waiting to say, okay, is he going to take over? Is he going to – and it's like they kind of they built a house in that dang on gym last night. They were bricking. Look at the numbers in the fourth quarter alone. In the fourth quarter alone, the Lakers took 21 shots.
Yeah.
And no, I got that wrong. I'm sorry. That's Portland. They took 21 shots, but my whole point is that they took 18 total shots. AD only took 3 shots in the fourth quarter, and he only made one of 3.
Here's the thing: it will be different if you said, "Man, he was open down low, and they didn't feed him."
Shots.
He was outside.
Outside shots.
And so it's one of two things: it's either bad coaching, or it's bad players for the fourth quarter when there is much more emphasis put on how you finish the game.
Right.
That's what the deal is, because there was I forgot who the team was that was covering the game, but they essentially said that you got to pick Damian Lillard up as soon as you pass the half court line. Really, dude? Really? Seriously? Is that your analysis?
Right.
Because I get it. Don't get me wrong, because he made 2 in that fourth quarter that were, that were at least 3 feet behind the 3-point line. But dog, you gonna tell me that you're gonna guard that dude that way?
Let me give you the scope.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are 2 star players, LeBron and AD. And I said this before the playoffs start. They're a 2-man team.
Real quick, LeBron had a shot where he came down and he took a Damian Lillard, and again I'm doing this in quotations.
He sure did. It hit it off the front of the rim. I seen it. He's like, I can prove to you I can make that shot too. And it's like,
dog,
what's this turn into a circus out here? It's like, can we play ball in the paint, please?
I'm listening to you, though.
Yeah, but I hear you. I'm riding along with this today's basketball stuff, because this is not my basketball.
Mine either.
Hey, you talking Dame Lillard pulling up from half court? I don't care. Like I said on my show 2 days ago, I don't care if it's pros. I don't care if it's college. I don't care if it's high school. I don't care if it's outside on the playground or a video freaking game. That's a bad shot. That's a bad shot. I don't care what you say. Horrible shot.
Yes.
But this is that guy taking it.
and even if he makes it,
it's still a bad
I'm
shot.
upset that he made it.
Yeah.
But if you are above the 3-point line and guarding this player, I'm not going to berate you.
Right.
The audacity, I guess. I mean, but I guess the temerity of being able to take that shot. But yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
But it is what it is. That's what today's league is. But I mean, guys can pull up that. They practice it now. They pull up that far from behind the arc. That's part of the NBA now. Yeah. They probably should start moving that dang 3-point line back there a little bit if that's the case. But anyway. But what I wanted to make the point is that okay, they did shoot 21 shots in the fourth quarter. I want to get my math right. They shot as a team 21 shots in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Combined together with LeBron and superstar AD and superstar LeBron, of those 21 shots, they took 8 together.
Yeah.
They're supposed to take over the fourth quarter in those games. And those others around them put up a brick wall shooting. And those two guys almost seem passive to me, both of them.
See, here's the thing that I get about LeBron that I will. Again, I didn't want LeBron to come to my team, so I'll say that to start off with. But I will say this in defense of LeBron, because if you say that he has a lot of magic in his DNA, then what he's going to do is try to trust his teammates.
Yes.
So I'll say that.
Yes.
So I'll say that.
Yes.
So,
and we saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of that. Trusting your teammates. But
Green, who can't.
Oh my God! I was just about to tell you that. I mean, you already know. I know you already know because you watched it. But, I mean, if he's trusting his teammates, he's trusting them too much in the fourth quarter. I can see 3 quarters, 1 through 3. Fourth quarter, you have to take over a game, like Damian Lillard and McCollum does. Danny Green, Kuzma. Both them dudes were minus. Wait, Danny Green was a minus 20 when he was on the floor. Caldwell Pope was a minus.
He cannot make a 3. And
Caldwell
the thing is,
Pope was a minus 18. And AD was a minus 20.
You met my youngest son, and my youngest son said, "Why is Caldwell Pope on the floor?" And he's 14 years old. And he said, "Why is he on the floor?" And I thought, you know what, you are absolutely right.
He's correct. Like, what is
you
this dude doing?
My team, so get out of my room right now. But the point is that it was just I couldn't understand.
They're in trouble, man. They're in trouble. If you get on the floor and you're an all-star, superstar, and you're minus 20 AD on the floor, the other team is you're minus 20. I don't
believe in AD, dog.
Man,
I don't. And so if let's say LeBron decided to retire next year at the end in this offseason, and we push to re-sign Anthony Davis, we're doomed.
You're screwed.
Because he's not.
He falters in that
I'll
fourth
say
quarter,
this,
man.
because one of the things that we realized with LeBron when the first season, when I say it was the first season with Miami, that when he was abused because when they lost to Dallas, when they lost to Dallas, everybody was on his head about how he needed to make sure he established himself in the low post to be more aggressive when it came to the fourth quarter. And to his credit, he addressed that. It doesn't mean you're always going to win. And so when that's a separate argument, but
no, you're right on point. You're right on point.
But he addressed that.
Yeah.
So I can't say that Anthony Davis will never be able to be aggressive, but right now he is not aggressive. So if you know that this dude can get you through quarter 1 through 3, who gonna take us through? Who gonna finish us?
Well, let me show you.
It's got to be you, LeBron.
I'm gonna tell you. Exactly those words you just said. It's got to be you, LeBron. Listen.
LeBron, I know you want to be a good teammate, but in the fourth quarter, only one man should be holding the basketball. There is no way get past the second round if the ball is not in LeBron's hand. Teammates should not be allowed to have arms to shoot a basketball in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
That's just perfect.
Give me Mario Chalmers. I'll take him as opposed to Danny Green.
He shouldn't be allowed to have arms to shoot the ball in the fourth quarter. Oh, that was just funny to me. I was looking at that the other night. I said, that's funny. But that's where he was last night. The fans were saying those exact words again. Where's LeBron at? Where you at, man? And
it's hard to carry. He has carried this team this year. We got rid of, and this is because of that LeBron effect.
Mm-hmm.
We got rid of Brandon Ingram.
I don't know why.
Instead of Kyle Kuzma.
Exactly. I don't know why, because that dude is a
Yeah,
baller.
yeah, I know.
That
We
dude's
got
a
rid
baller.
of, Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
We could have made this trade without. Anyway, the point is that LeBron, if he wants this championship, he is going to have to do everything.
Yep.
Every
Yep.
game.
It looks like
So,
it too, because I don't think
what does it take to 14, 15 wins to win? So we got
16.
4.
But now you need
16.
Yeah, you need 16.
So 16 wins to be able to hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy. So LeBron has to, because we're not going to go, obviously we're not going to go 16-1.
He has to go into that Miami Heat
He has
six
to
beast mode.
He has to do that every
he
game. Has to take that Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
The last time he was able to really to control to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is.
Man, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, man.
I know all those other games are going on tonight. We'll give you the updates about those when we get back. I'm going to take a quick break here. You're listening to the Kazual Sportz Show. Javon Adams sitting in, Earl Burnett. Y'all stick around. We'll be right back. And you don't want to miss what we got coming up, because we're going to get into that Cardinal training camp. Some interesting things going down. Stick around.
You can.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
Hey, yo, what's good, Bird Gang? This is Jay Love. And where do you go when you want to get all the information about the Arizona Cardinals? Of course, you come to Kazual Sportz in the Kazual House. You can.
This is Cliff Kingsbury, and you're listening to the second best sounding voice in the Valley, Casual E, on the Kazual Sportz Show here on KSRN, Arizona.
Welcome back into the Kazual House. You know I always got to have that stuff prepared, man. Anytime I got it at my disposal, man. Anytime.
That's what's up. You know how it goes. I seem like really reserved, but you see me perform. So
that's the only one and only J Love. I gotta have that intro, man, to rejoin.
Yeah, man.
So
I got a song about the Negro Leagues.
Oh, okay.
Well.
Go ahead.
I got a song about it. So.
Oh, you have a song?
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably gonna be cool.
Finished
so already?
I'll let you hear it. It's
Okay.
finished. Yeah, I got to just get the artwork done. So
okay. So that's like fresh off the presses.
Yes, sir.
All right. Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure Sean is too. He be waiting for you to drop stuff. You're like, where's the next album coming?
If I can take y'all and multiply y'all by so many more. But yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. We were supposed to have my man Ed Smith come in and join us tonight, but I guess he got a little sidetrack being a celebrity and all. So that's how that goes.
He got a big head.
He got a big head.
He gonna hit me next time I see him, but I'm not on the show this week because I'm gonna be out in Cali, so he can't hit me until next week.
He gotta wait.
Yeah, he gotta wait.
All right. Well, it was 2.5 weeks into Cardinals camp right now. It's getting,
just started hitting on Monday, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yeah. They just got into the stadium and actual pads Monday, but they've been in the
Right.
stadium a week before then doing walkthroughs.
Yes, sir.
And so it's how do you? I mean, I don't know how this season's going to. I mean, I said this before that this is going to be some of the ugliest football these first 2 weeks, first maybe 1, 2, 3 weeks. It's going to be really
probably
ugly.
2 weeks. Probably
Yeah,
2
it's
weeks.
going to look really, really bad. But
Yeah.
uh,
The defense will definitely be ahead of the offense.
I disagree. Are you talking
You know,
Cardinals?
really?
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think the offense is far along ahead of the defense right now.
Man, okay. So this is good stuff. Here. So when you think about the offense trying to find their rhythm and knowing exactly the spots where they want to be, and so there's a rhythm that comes to that.
Okay.
And so when you think of the defense, where they just trying to obliterate no matter what, I think that you don't need to have the rhythm of that to be able to try to make your impact in the game.
Well, okay. Well, here's how I rebut that.
Okay.
The offense, when you talk about a rhythm, you got to remember they played together last year together. They have a rhythm. They only got one guy on their team that got to get up to speed, and he happens to be a superstar who doesn't really need all of that, guidance. And just tell him what route he's running, and the kid gonna run the route. He's already coming in on the court. He's coming in on the field already a threat. More than 2 different ways as a threat.
Right.
You got to double this dude. So, of course, he's got to get in with Kyler and get a little rhythm going with Kyler, but you talk about a superstar that knows how to react. There's not a route he has not run. So they have played in this offense last year. They got some type of cohesion. They know how it
call
looks.
a different type of offense.
No, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing, dude.
Because you got more. He just feels I got a different toy to play with.
I get that.
Drake. I got all this stuff to be able to do what I want to do. But
my point is
trying to figure all that stuff out.
Right, but my point is this. You have one guy that you're teaching to do everything. Everybody else knows the offense. You got one guy that doesn't know it.
These other wide receivers.
But that one guy, that one guy just happens to be a superstar. You don't really need to do too much teaching and too much of whatever. But on the flip side of that, the defense has brought in 7 new players. And now they just lost a guy that was supposed to be your corner. Now they got to bring another an 8th new guy to come in to teach the defense too.
Especially with the corners, I get it. But if you're saying on the defensive line, hey, see that dude right there that's about to hike the ball? Yeah, I see him. Get that dude.
The 3-4 defense is a little. There's a lot more to it than that.
I know. I'm simplifying it quite a bit.
It's scheme.
There's
still assignments for every guy. And if I'm telling you, and you know this is better than anybody else would know, then Ed would know this too. I don't care who you are. I mean, like even DeAndre Hopkins right now. Yes, he's a superstar, but he still might be one slight step behind everybody else. One slight step.
True.
But for him as a superstar, he'll get through that a little faster than a normal guy. On that defensive end, if you're behind the 8 ball not knowing that scheme, you're going to always be 2 steps behind, always. And when you're 2 steps behind, you're going to be out of place, and you're going to be doing the same crap we've been doing last year. Hopefully, we don't have tight ends running all over the place. I'm just saying, it's going to take a little.
Show, man. I'm just trying to roll with your show.
No, I hear you. I hear you though. I just like I said, I think they're going to struggle a little bit on defense.
I just wonder what you think in terms of when you look at the way that defenses and offenses. You know, when you're looking, if all things are created equal, if you think that go get that dude as opposed to run that hitch, run this out route. But if you see something, blah blah blah, with the defense that's playing with you, then make sure you change that. I think that there might be different ways in which the offense might be halted just a little bit.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think about this offense. And remember, this offense was supposed to be air raid offense last year, but it did not quite end that way, right?
Does that concern you though?
No. Matter of fact, it makes me. I get happy when I think about it because if we
really,
if we had came in being this, let's just yanking around the yard all day, and it's often that gets figured out fast. Defensive coordinators will figure that out real quick.
Okay.
But now, man, how we looked at the end of the year was perfect. We added a power running game to this thing and tied ends to this thing. We can do just about anything we want on offense.
But do you think that they are going to pull away from that? Because we know how we finished the year, but man, I feel good about having D-Hop, all this other stuff.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't care about a running game. I'm
question.
trying to get this other stuff going on.
I'm going to use these words. It would behoove Cliff Kingsbury. It would behoove Cliff Kingsbury to stick with where they ended and let that be your offense, because having multiple things on that offense is going to be scary. Man, and then you add a DeAndre Hopkins, that just gives you another element to make that power running game even more potent.
I agree.
It's
I
going
agree
to
with
be
you.
crazy.
I'm just
with all those
that
weapons.
He's going to go to how that. What was it? The first 3, 4, 5,
it was the first
6, 7, 8 weeks?
6 weeks of the season, and it wasn't working.
Exactly. I just worry that that's what it's going to get.
Okay, let's just put it this way: if he does lean back toward that, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to work again, and he's going to have to go right back to where he started in the end of the season. It's too simple. I mean, even though you're going to have people running all over the place, I get it, but man, that power running game element that adds to that offense makes this whole thing just like I would be if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm sitting back going, how am I going to stop this offense? I got to either double team number 10, and then I got to keep a spy on number 1, because that guy can come running out of there at any given time. And then now all these gaps are in the dang on offensive line. That dude number 41 in the back just gashing us. Okay, let's get our guys.
What's the primary personnel they're going to run? What do you think?
They're going to probably be in 21.
Okay.
They're going to have some tight ends on that. The tight ends are going to be involved in this dang on offense. Trust me.
So 21 personnel is 2 backs, 1 tight end.
Yep.
All
No. I got it backwards. They're going to have
12.
Yes.
1 back, 2 tight ends.
1 back, 2 tight ends.
Okay.
12 personnel. 1 back, 2 tight ends.
And all I'm saying is that is from what when we were driving to Vegas for our lovely, weekend when we was chilling, me and you, we was driving to Vegas.
I remember.
Before you were trapped in a lobby.
Before we was trapped. Before I got held hostage down in the casino.
but that is opposite or counter to what you would think a Cliff Kingsbury offense would be.
Absolutely. And I think I had Cam Cox come on the show. Yeah. And I had a couple of days before that, Kent Summers came on the show, and they both echoed the same exact thing about Cliff Kingsbury. Okay. Cliff Kingsbury has learned as a coach what's working in the NFL and what's not working. Period. And he has grown. And if he's grown to the point that he's learned, then you ain't going to go back to what didn't work. You're going to go with, hey, this was working last year. I got to stick to that.
That's what you hope.
That's what you hope.
That's what I hope.
Let's put it that way. That's what we hope it would stay that way. I do, because if it stays that way, I don't see too many defenses that's going to be able to stop this offense, because it's going to be tough. Do I double 10? Larry going to be one-on-one with a second or third string cornerback all day long? Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be
playing EU, doing the butt because you got a big butt.
For sure.
To box out those rules.
But then I'll flip it on the defensive side, though. I just see Vance Joseph's scheme. He has to dial it down now, because now I don't have the corner I got out there. I got 7 new guys, so I got to just tell every guy you have an assignment. Like you said, you see that guy right there, you get him. But things happen different on the football field. So you mentioned
that the fact that Alford, we know that. Two years in a row that he's out for the season.
I feel for him.
So you feel that because of that, Vance Joseph has to dial it down that much.
That's part of it. Because remember, the 3-4 defense with those 2 outside guys that can lock down, that's what makes the 3-4 go. If you got 2 outside guys that can lock down, you got time to get those front guys to them quarterback and game over. But if you're not locking down on those corners on the outside, now you got to tell those guys up front, they got to scheme, they got to stunt, they got to do all kinds of things to get to that quarterback. And if you don't know your stunt, if you don't know your stunt, right? If you don't know your assignment, you can be in the wrong gap. You could be in the wrong. I mean, it's a lot of things these guys, 7 new guys have to learn on this defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just seems like
isn't that a little bit of what happened last season?
Absolutely.
When Vance Joseph was trying to teach his defense.
That's what
and now
happened.
You got 7 new people when you were hoping that you had those those cornerbacks.
Right.
to
And we
try
all
to
were
be able
tripping
to
about
help.
why is he not playing this guy? Why is he not playing that guy? That guy can just. But he was trying to teach them what to do. But
Okay.
now, like you said, now you have now like with the rookie Isaiah Simmons. You can't leave that guy on the sideline. He's too talented. So now you have to go find a way to put him on the field.
But because of that injury, does
Right.
that mean that he's looking to try to say I got to pull back a little bit because I can't introduce him too much too early? Do you think that
No.
plays in his Vance Joseph's mind?
As far as Simmons goes, it was written from day one he was going to be on the field game 1. So and his role got changed. His role, he's not going to be that versatile guy where you can put anywhere. No, he's coming in as the linebacker.
Is it a little bit more predictable because of that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay,
He's going to be way predictable. It's going to be easy, dialed down, simplified, because he's a rookie. You can't expect him to come in there and pick up all that crap that fast with no OTAs, no rookie camp, no preseason game. I mean, he's going to get put in the fire. But it's going to be like this. You see that tight end? That's your guy. You stay with him.
Please stay with that tight end.
And that's what Cam Cox said. Cam Cox said, yeah, they're going to just put him on one assignment and he just take care of one thing. But everybody else, scheme-wise, it's going to take them some time to learn this thing. But they have some guys that are already in place that know it. I mean, everybody's sleeping on Zach Allen. That dude is back, and he looks like a beast in camp right now, I'm hearing. So let's see how things go. And then also Cam told us, too, that Cliff Kingsbury's like you said earlier about those other receivers. Well, Cliff just told us that there's 2 guys that are standing out in this practice, and there are 2 guys that we got last year, both Andy Isabella and Keyshawn Johnson. Now, that could be.
I'm just saying.
Hey, look. That could be just pumping them up to get those guys confidence or whatever. Who knows? But if they looking good, if those guys come looking good too, how are you going to stop this offense? How?
Yeah.
Because if you could get
that will be encouraging.
Yes.
For sure.
If you could get Andy Isabella over the top, and you have to be concerned about that speed getting over the top all the time. Now you got DeAndre Hopkins one-on-one.
Yes, sir.
You got Fitz one-on-one.
Speed is one
you
thing.
You got Kirk one-on-one. You got a tight end I think Arnold's going to have a good season. This tight end's going to have a hell of a season. He's going to be one-on-one. I mean, and Drake out of the backfield or up the middle. And then you got to have your linebacker, Kyler as a spy because he might just come out of there. It's going to be if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, oh, man, this is scary. I see this thing being a juggernaut. But maybe not game 1. Trust me. I'm not saying it's going to be game 1 and they're going to come out and just look like this. I'm saying give it 2-3 games where they get their rhythm, like you're saying, and they're going to look like, man, they're going to be hard to stop. If everything goes right.
I know I'm just a guest in your house, so I got to ask you where the glass is for the ice water and all that stuff. But
Hey,
I'm thinking I'm thinking 5 and 11, 6 and 10.
No, you can't be that. Come on.
My oldest son is thinking, 10 and 6,